You walk through the door, and before you even take off your shoes, your dog is already there. Not just excited, not just happy, watching you closely. Most people take that moment as love, a greeting, a sign that they're doing everything right. But what if I told you some of the things you do every single day, the things that feel like love, are actually confusing your dog or quietly putting them on edge? And the hardest part is, you don't even realize it's happening because these aren't obvious mistakes. They're small, normal, almost invisible. In this video, we're breaking down 5 common habits that most dog owners think are harmless, but your dog experiences very differently. And once you see them, you won't be able to unsee them. 1. The hug that feels like love. You're sitting on the couch. Your dog walks over, and without thinking, you wrap your arms around them. Maybe you pull them in close. Maybe you squeeze a little tighter. Because to you, that's affection, that's connection, that's love. And in human language, it absolutely is. But here's where it shifts. Because in dog language, that same gesture doesn't mean safety. It means restraint. It means pressure. And for a lot of dogs, it feels uncomfortably close to being trapped. Most owners never notice this because their dog doesn't growl. They don't snap. They don't pull away dramatically. Instead, they go still. Their body stiffens slightly. Their eyes shift away. Their ears lower just a bit. Subtle signals, easy to miss. But what your dog is actually saying in that moment is, I don't know how to leave this. And that's the part most people never see. This isn't about your dog not loving you. It's about how they process physical control. Because dogs bond through proximity, not pressure, through presence, not restraint. So when you hug them tightly, especially when they didn't initiate it, you're unintentionally turning a safe moment into a moment they have to endure. Now, here's the shift. Instead of pulling your dog in, try lowering your energy. Sit beside them. Let your hand rest gently on their chest or side. Wait for them to lean into you. That lean is the closest thing a dog has to a hug. And when they choose it, that's real trust. So if this is something you've been doing without realizing it, you're not alone. Just drop a 1 in the comments. I read every single one. And hit subscribe if you want to understand your dog on a deeper level, not just love them. Because once you start seeing these small moments differently, everything about your relationship begins to change. And the next habit? It's something almost every dog owner does on walks, without realizing they're interrupting one of the most important things in their dog's entire world. 2. Interrupting the sniff. You're out on a walk. Your dog suddenly slows down, nose locked onto a single spot on the ground. To you, it looks random, maybe even pointless. So you do what most people do. You give a gentle tug on the leash. Come on, let's go. And just like that, you pull them away. It feels small. It feels harmless. But for your dog, that moment you just interrupted wasn't random at all. Because when your dog is sniffing like that, they're not just smelling, they're reading. A story. Who passed by? How long ago? Male or female? Stressed, calm, confident, fearful. All of that information layered into one tiny patch of ground. This is how your dog understands the world, through scent. In fact, a large part of your dog's brain is dedicated to processing smell. It's not a side activity. It's their primary way of thinking. So when you pull them away too quickly, what they experience isn't just interruption. It's unfinished processing. Imagine being in the middle of reading something important and someone closes the book in your hands. Over time, this builds a kind of quiet frustration. Your dog starts to feel rushed, disconnected, less engaged with the walk itself. And here's the shift most people never consider. For your dog, the walk isn't about distance, it's about information. So instead of measuring your walk by how far you go, start measuring it by how much your dog gets to explore. Let them pause. Let them finish the scent. You don't have to stop forever. Just give them a few extra seconds to complete what they started. Because when you do that, you're not spoiling your dog. You're letting their brain work the way it was designed to. And once you allow that, you'll notice something subtle. They become calmer, more satisfied, more present with you. And what looks like a slow walk actually becomes a mentally complete one. But the next habit goes even deeper because it happens at home every single day. And it quietly removes something your dog needs, far more than just exercise. 3. The effortless food bowl. It's feeding time. You scoop the food, pour it into the bowl, set it down, your dog walks over. And within seconds, it's gone. Clean, efficient, done. And from your perspective, that means everything is working perfectly. They're eating well, they're satisfied, they're taken care of. But here's what most people never stop to ask. What did your dog actually do to get that food? Because in your dog's natural world, food doesn't just appear. It's tracked, chased, solved. It requires effort, focus, decision-making. That process isn't just about survival. It's what gives your dog a sense of purpose. So when food becomes instant, effortless, predictable every single time, you remove that entire layer of mental engagement. And what's left is a dog that eats fast, but still feels understimulated. This is where you start to see subtle shifts. Restlessness after meals, looking for something to do, getting into things they shouldn't because their brain never got to complete the cycle. Eating alone is only the final step. The real satisfaction comes from the work before it. And here's the part that changes everything. You don't need more food, you need more process. Instead of always using a bowl, try scattering their food in a safe area. Or use a simple puzzle feeder. Even hiding small portions around the room. Now, your dog has to search, pause, think, and suddenly, mealtime becomes an activity, not just an event. You'll notice they slow down, they stay engaged longer, and afterward, they actually settle, because now, their brain feels complete. And once you see that difference, you start to realize something deeper. Your dog doesn't just need to be fed, they need to do something to feel fulfilled. And the next habit, it's even more invisible. Because it's not about what you do, it's about how you sound every single time you speak to them. 4. The voice that never changes. You talk to your dog all the time? Good boy. Come here. Stop. No. Same words, same tone, same rhythm, and to you, it feels normal, clear, consistent. But to your dog, it all starts to blur together. Because dogs don't process language the way we do. They don't rely on vocabulary. They rely on tone, energy, and contrast. So when your voice stays flat, when every word sounds the same, your dog has to guess what actually matters. And over time, they stop paying close attention. Not because they're stubborn, not because they're ignoring you, but because nothing in your voice signals importance. This is where most owners get frustrated. They repeat commands. They raise their voice. They think their dog is not listening. But the real issue isn't obedience. It's clarity. Because in your dog's world, a shift in tone is everything. A soft, slow voice signals safety. A sharp, elevated tone signals urgency. A playful tone invites engagement. That variation is how your dog maps meaning. So when it's missing, your communication becomes noise. And here's the turning point most people never realize. The moment you change your tone intentionally, your dog's attention snaps back. Their ears lift. Their body orients toward you. They start listening again. Not to the word, but to the feeling behind it. So instead of repeating commands louder, start changing how you say them. Lower your voice when you want calm. Lift your tone when you want energy. Pause when you want focus. You'll notice something almost immediately. Your dog responds faster, with less effort and far less confusion. Because now, your voice actually carries information. And if this is something you've never thought about before, drop a 4 in the comments. I want to see how many people realize this shift. And if you're starting to see your dog differently, not just as a pet, but as a nervous system you're constantly communicating with, hit subscribe. Because this last habit is the quietest one of all. And it's the one that defines whether your dog truly feels safe around you or just stays close because they have to. 5. Always doing, never just being. You come home, your dog walks up to you, and almost instantly you reach down. You pet them, you talk to them, you engage. Because in your mind, that's how you show love. You do something, you create interaction. But here's what most people never notice. Some of the deepest moments of trust don't happen when you're doing anything at all. They happen when you're just there. Because to your dog, Constant interaction can actually feel like pressure, not overwhelming, but never fully settling. There's always something happening, always a signal to respond to. And over time, your dog never fully drops into stillness around you. They stay close, but slightly alert, present, but not completely at ease. And this is where the shift becomes subtle, but powerful. Because when you remove the need to perform, your dog finally relaxes into your presence. Try this. Next time your dog comes near you, don't reach out right away. Don't call them. Don't fill the space. Just sit there. Breathe. Soften your body. Let the moment exist without changing it. At first, nothing happens. Then, slowly, your dog settles closer. Maybe they lie down beside you. Maybe they lean in slightly. Maybe they just stay without asking for anything. That stillness is trust in its purest form. No commands, no expectations, no stimulation. Just safety. Because when your dog feels like they don't have to do anything around you, that's when they know they can truly rest. And that's something most dogs are quietly missing. Not more walks, not more toys, not more attention, just a human who knows how to share space without trying to control it. And once you give your dog that, you'll notice something change that's hard to describe. They don't just stay near you anymore. They choose you. And maybe the most surprising part of all of this is that none of these were big mistakes. No shouting, no neglect, no obvious harm. Just small, everyday habits. Done with good intentions, but your dog doesn't read intention. They read experience. How something feels in their body, how much space they have, how safe they are to relax or to leave. So when you start shifting these small moments, not forcing affection, not rushing their senses, not removing effort, not flattening your voice, not filling every second with action, something changes. Quietly, your dog softens. They check in with you more. They settle faster. They trust deeper. Not because you're doing more, but because you're finally speaking their language. And once you see that, you realize something simple. Your dog was never asking for more love. They were asking for clearer love. Now I'm curious about your dog. Which one of these habits have you been doing without realizing it? Was it the hug, the leash, the food, the voice, or the constant interaction? Let me know in the comments. And if you've ever noticed your dog suddenly freezing, going completely still in moments that seem harmless, what's actually happening in their mind in that exact second is something most people completely miss. That's exactly what we're breaking down in the next video. So subscribe if you want to see your dog in a way most owners never do.